There must have been a time you felt more or less able to navigate the social networks and communities you belong to. Tell us about one of those times and the tools and strategies that have enabled you.
That's a great challenge to manage multi-memberships. I know that the two of the strategies that I've used that have worked for me in the past, they're a little drastic, but one of them is by finally achieving inbox zero. I take the time to get everything completed in my inbox, and in the process, I find myself being able to catch up with everything and all of the different social networks. The other a strategy that I've used that seems to work as well is to remember that it's unrealistic that I could keep up with everything. So I won't try to go back and reread everything that's been done. Here, I'll just decide, okay, as of right now, I will keep up. So especially once I achieve inbox zero, then I'll decide I'm going to now keep up and maintain it. I'm not going to go back and read everything. I'll just mark everything as read. And from now on, I will be able to keep up with the social networks.
Bronze, thank you for your question. This is Julia joining in from San Francisco. Most of the time I would say that I'm a lurker on social networks and online communities. Today, in response to your question, I had an image of a conveyor belt of messages passing before me throughout the day. I sit at my computer most of the time. I used to feel overwhelmed by the volume of these messages and read none of them. Sometimes I would file a whole bunch of messages into a folder to read later, but actually never get to them. A more effective strategy for me is to do a quick glance at the messages as they go by and decide right there and then whether to grab hold or to let them go by. If I grab hold, then I tend to find it useful to schedule some time to respond. I tend to be somebody who's got 16 things going on in my head at the same time, and social networking contributions are going to be out there but a low priority. If I decide I do want to join in, then I put a note in my calendar and give myself time to participate. If I choose to miss that appointment, then so be it. This isn't always the case, but if I intend to respond and don't do something about it right away, then the intention takes up time in my busy brain, and I find that unhelpful. So act, schedule, or let go seems to be my best mantra. The situations where I find myself fully participating rather than lurking tend to be the ones that are more organized and less organic. I pick up on this seminar, for example, because it's purposeful and has a topic that I'm interested in, facilitators who are thoughtfully guiding us through a process and discussion, a time frame to participate, some interesting tools to explore. I tend to seek out these kinds of networks where my time will be focused and concentrated. I choose to spend my social and open-ended conversation and time with friends in person rather than online. So I'm interested also in the tools that we're using here, particularly this one to add voice comments as a way of building a group dynamic and learning who else is here. I've really enjoyed listening to the different accents and seeing people's pictures, and I found that more engaging than the long written threads that I've been reading. As you may have guessed, I find myself writing out my response before speaking it. I don't think I'm a complete control freak. It's rather that I valued the focus comments more than the longer rambling ones, and this is a good lesson for me to take away. Also, I think I've recorded this now 4 times because of microphone problems, and so that's a good lesson as well. Thank you.